Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for ReZero episode or season 2, episode 6. So, last time we had a pretty mellow episode. It was kind of like a lot of info drop stuff up until obviously the very end. But we had like the conversation with Subaru and Echidna at the end of his trial, which was cool. I enjoyed it, and then we had the conversation with Roswell with regards to kind of how he's stepped out of a lot of the combat situations in order to get the people to like Amelia, regardless of the cost of lives, and saying how Subaru has helped him with his, dastardly plan. But then we also had the conversation with Ram about Frederica, and how she kind of has, like, I don't know, her plans seem kind of ominous. Like, it's weird, because Ram said, I trust Frederica, but then also said, be careful of her, in a way. So it was, like, a very weird exchange. I almost want to, like, rewatch that scene to try to get another feel for it. And then we had a nice conversation with Amelia and Subaru, and then also a little conversation with Garf and Subaru. So we'll see what Subaru decides in regards to the trial. Whether, because Garf brought up the point that Amelia might not want to take it and might want Subaru to do it for her, or I don't think she knows that Subaru can do it for her yet, but he seeded that in Subaru's mind, so we'll see what happens there. And then obviously the cliffhanger part at the very end, we had the I think her name was like the bowel cutter or something, or the whatever, something like that, and she killed Subaru, so he's going back in time again, and to some point, we don't know where the save point's at. And also, all the doors were open, which was something I noted in the last episode, so I wonder what's going to be up with that. Does that mean Beatrice is dead, or was that just her looking for Beatrice? I'm not sure, so either way, let's jump into this episode. Sorry for the long-winded recap, I probably didn't have to go into that much detail, but it's good to remember everything that's going on. So let's jump into the episode. Alrighty, we are going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, right after the trial is the save point? Elsa, that's what her name was. Yep, Amelia freaking out. You gotta redo all this. How's that conversation with Roswell gonna go? Or is it gonna even happen now? And now Subaru might know it without Roswell ever saying it. Ooh. And he has that seated in his mind about doing the trial for her and everything. I think that's, like, kind of the look he gave, like, maybe I should be doing this. Hmm. This is the first time he's telling them. So you lied, drop dead. Yep. So what's Amelia gonna want? Ooh. Is he gonna suggest she does them? Oh. Alright. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's because he didn't realize it on his own or something. Huh. Oh no, Subaru. This is exactly what he was worried about happening the last time. Oh. Damn. Uh. So did his talk with Roswaal make it so Roswaal suggested that Subaru could do it? I wonder. And then, and he, like, Roswaal said that to Garf. And that's why Garf had his change at the end before. I feel like everything went fine at this point in the story. I feel like he should have just repeated everything like the way it happened before. But oh well. I get why he tried to change it. Well. Is he not gonna allow it this time? Oh. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, is Ram going this time? Yep, she's going this time. Hmm. Mm-hmm. He's not as accepting this time. He's not going to give you the crystal. Good thing Ram caught it. He didn't even try. Hmm. Oh my god. Wait, why doesn't she remember that? Does it have something to do with forgetting about Rem? Oh, maybe it happened in another... Did that happen in another one of his lives or whatever? That might have been what it was. Oh shit. Telling her everything. Is Ram strong enough to handle Elsa? Also, didn't he come back with all the people before? Where are they? Or did he not get permission this time? That's my bad. I might have missed something. I talked too much this episode. Ah. Petra. Ah, Subaru. You seem to know your place. I give you a passing grade. Patrolling the barrier. Okay. Oh, so even if Ram didn't believe it, what is she gonna say when she sees her? Uh, she's gonna have to believe it if she doesn't already. Oh boy. Hmm. I hope Ram doesn't do anything stupid. I don't know why she would. She's back already? What does that mean? They used hers to get, like, into the barrier, right? But what does it mean that Subaru has Garf's version of it? Okay. Hmm. Oh, shit. Oh. Elsa? Not Petra. So, what are the odds that Subaru has to redo all this again? Alright, can Ram handle Elsa? And, oh, partial beast transformation. Oh. Oh, damn. Okay. I was so worried that that was Ram that just got, like, blasted. Maids in large, medium, and small. Uh-oh. Is his gate still not fully healed? Or did he use too much again? Oh! Needles, that's new. Is that someone else, or is that just another trick of hers? I guess it's just another trick of hers. Yeah, Beatrice is supposed to protect the mansion. What is she doing at times like that? I wonder. She doesn't have... No, if Ram had her memories, I don't think she would be making the same decision. Damn. She's just naked. What's the necklace gonna do? Oh, is she more than just partial? Damn. Interesting. So even though she's like half-blood, she can still fully turn. Alright. What was the glass shattering for? Is that how they, like, got in towards... Okay. Are all the doors open again? What the hell is that? Just another May Beast. Has like bats all around it. Thing's crazy. This is a mess. I feel like Subaru's gonna have to redo this. I don't know though. Maybe not. Little freaking bat rat things. Oh. Well. Guess there's no point in having that if it can save his life. That bed looks really weirdly drawn in comparison to what the characters look like the animation of it or whatever. God damn it. You guys gotta get moving. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. They're riding somewhere. Oh my god. That's kind of like a really... Oh my god, okay. They didn't get far. He's already back in the mansion. Oh my god. I actually... That was like really cool, that whole scene. Is someone gonna be dead and he's just gonna have to, like, die? Oh no, he's still holding her hand and the rest of her body isn't there? Fuck! Oh no. God damn it. He's just gonna have to die again, right? Yep. Directions. Shit. Melee. Beatrice? Shit. God damn. Alright. That's it. Fuck. Oh my god. Wow. That was a tense episode, to say the least, but there's so many, like, interesting, like, I loved, like, the action bits and all that, and all of that was cool, but there was some interesting, like, minor things that, like, could be major depending on how they want to take it, that were, like, hinted at in this episode that I think is, like, one of the most interesting parts of the episode. But man, I will say, just so I don't forget, I really loved the camera work that they did there. Well, obviously not camera work, it's animation, so it's not like they use a camera or whatever, you know. But I love their, like, how they had it in the point of view of Subaru, but he was all, like, dazed from the debris, like, landing on him. He was so out of it, you know? And, like, basically you could only kind of, like, barely tell what was going on along with Subaru, so it wasn't like we were watching it from, you know, just a third person. We were actually watching it from, you know, his perspective. So we had the same thing where, like, okay, it seemed like Ram came back after they were under the debris. It seemed like Ram saved him but couldn't save Petra, or didn't want to, didn't have time. Got him onto the I forget what they call them, like the ground dragons, I think is might be what they call them, and started riding away. It seemed like they got pretty far, but then they got thrown, like, back into the mansion. So I guess they didn't get very far. And then from there we finally got, like, the back to the third person to see what was, like, the damage done. But then it went back to first person for to see, like, her Petra's arm still in his hand. But man, that was, like, a really cool moment. It reminds me a bit of some of like the first person stuff that why can't I think of Promise Neverland did, and that was fantastic too. I loved how Promise Neverland did it. I still think Promise Neverland's was a little bit better because they actually like had it feel like you were in a 3D environment, on like a 2D animation. So I thought that was like really cool. Um, but yeah, this was pretty awesome as well. So yeah, I guess his reset didn't go back too far. It was after the trial, so basically all of last episode essentially, um, and it was the difference is this time. Like I said, obviously I'm looking at it from hindsight, right? Like Subaru thought he was making good changes, so I don't blame Subaru for like the downfall that this reset had. But I will say that I think the first time went better. So like if he does die and if he does go back again, which we don't know because Beatrice saved him, um, if he does go back again, I almost think he should try to follow it the same way he did it the first time as best he can. It might be hard because I imagine you can't just remember word for word, like, what you say, right? Like, and, I mean, I wonder if he was able to remember word for word everything he said, if it would have the same exact outcome, like we obviously haven't seen him do that, I don't think, where he just copied a reset the exact same. There was always like some slightly different things done or said from him. Um, but I wonder if people's choices, if someone's like 50-50 on making a choice, and in the first save they did one thing, and even if Subaru acted the exact same, would they always have to make that exact same choice? Or could it be that they would potentially just make a different choice just off of that, 50-50 factor, like flipping a coin, maybe this time, like, I guess, yeah, if he flipped a coin, that could be a good example, like, if he flipped a coin at one point and it landed on heads, and then he got sent back, or, yeah, he died and got sent back, and at that same exact point he flipped the coin again, could it land on tails, or is it always going to land on heads? That's the kind of thing that I just wonder about the show, and I always have. I don't remember if we have any, like, really good examples of that happening, because I think usually he just makes small changes and stuff like that, so we've never, like, known. But I almost think he should do the same kind of stuff, but the only problem is then it would be only him going back. And if it was only him going back, how would he fight against Elsa? But I don't know. Maybe he could figure something out. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I guess I can also see where he kind of needs, like, another person, like Ram, to go with him to help fight, because Ram put up a fight, but obviously Ram wasn't confident enough that she could beat Elsa, so, yeah. But I guess another question I have regarding all of this is why Beatrice isn't doing more. Like, didn't she say in season 1 that her job is to protect the mansion? It doesn't seem like she does a lot of protecting of the mansion. Like, I know she works for Roswaal, and she's there to keep Roswaal safe, right? I think. But I thought at one point she also said, like, she's there to protect the mansion and she won't leave there because that's where she has to protect. So I would think that when someone like this, Elsa came in, or like even the Maybeast or something, that Beatrice would lend a hand other than, saving Subaru at this very last second, which I'm really excited because I'm hoping we'll learn more. I'm sure Subaru is going to flip shit on Beatrice in the next episode, and we might find out why she hasn't been lending a hand. I mean, my only thought is she's gonna say something along the lines of, "I'm supposed to protect Roswaal." Roswell isn't here right now, so why would I show myself, you know? And I feel like that's a little bit of a poor excuse, but at the same time, I guess I kind of understand it from a like non-emotional, like just doing my job point of view. But I would still think that Roswell wouldn't want his mansion like completely trashed, like it's becoming, you know. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait till next episode to get that answer. One of the most interesting things is when Subaru mentioned throwing Ram as a decoy, and she like had a sudden moment of deja vu. And I'm sorry I didn't catch on quicker about that. I mean, I guess I did like immediately after, but I'm guessing it was, I can't remember precisely, but I think it was a different like save point. That's the best way I can explain it. A different save point that he threw Ram like that I think he threw Ram at Rem to calm her down, because even though Rem was going like berserk with her demon form and stuff like that, she still wouldn't hurt her sister, I think it was. So she like threw her sister at Rem as like a distraction, so then Subaru could hit her horn, right? And try to like take her out of her trance. I think that was how that whole scene went down. And my guess is that it definitely was on a different save because of the fact that that Ram doesn't forget it. My first thought was maybe that was part of this save that he's on now, but that memory is hazy of hers, and that's why it's sorry, her memory is hazy on that point because it was tied to an encounter with Rem, which Rem is now effectively deleted from her memory. So I wonder what she thinks now, instead of like Subaru threw her, like imagine like, so if that was the original save where Subaru threw her, I wonder what she thinks happened, right? Like Subaru threw her, but threw her at what, right? Because she has no memory of Rem. So does she say, like, I remember you throwing me at someone? Or does she say, I remember you just throwing me, but no one would, like, why'd you throw me, you know? But maybe, like, if it is part of the regular save, maybe that's why she's hazy on it. But I'm thinking that it's part of a different save, and that's why. But that means she had a like a vague recollection of something that happened in a different save. That's interesting if that is the case, because that means it's going into like the show might be going into Steins Gate Worldline type stuff, where the characters are starting to remember things that happened in other world lines, you know, even though they're separate now. And now, this could be a hint to something different, but we also had the moment in the conversation with Roswell where Subaru said, I don't think I will be able to convince them this time. And Roswell was like, this time? And then just let it go. Now, we obviously know from last episode that Roswell has some kind of faith in Subaru, that Subaru is up to handling, like, certain tasks. Like, he trusts Subaru to get things done without Roswell being present, you know? And I was questioning last episode where Roswell gets this faith in Subaru, and without knowing that Subaru can die and come back to life. But I wonder if Roswell is vaguely picking up on something along those lines, you know? It's interesting because I feel like the witch should have attacked Subaru at that point, even a little bit, even though it was like a minor thing, because if he's just allowed to say that, I feel like you could infer a lot and almost make someone realize what's going on with Subaru. Obviously, it's something that'd be very hard to believe, but in a world with, like, crazy magic and stuff like that, like, Subaru smells like the witch whenever he talks about, you know, return by death or whatever he calls it. and and she comes and like starts grabbing his heart or whatever and whispering in his ear. And then, you know, the Rem and Ram, I believe, are both saying that he reeks of the witch when he does that. So that's one thing that ties Subaru to the witch. And then we know that the witch is insanely powerful. Everybody knows that. And then if Subaru started dropping these like vague hints that maybe Roswaal was picking up on all this time, and then Subaru here even says, "I won't be able to convince them this time." Maybe Roswaal is slowly picking up on this ability that Subaru has, and that's where he gets this faith in Subaru that he's able to, you know, protect Amelia and stuff like that in Roswaal's absence and everything. I'm not sure, but the other thing I could think of is maybe Roswaal is also having some deja vu feelings, right? Like the thing that they foreshadowed with Ram. Maybe Roswaal's having that same thing. And then when Subaru mentioned this time, he might have been like, well, maybe it's not just like a weird feeling, you know? Maybe there's something more to it, and he's starting to realize some stuff. But that's really interesting. I'm surprised that he was able to say this time without the witch like coming after him. You know, that seems pretty drastic, but yeah, I mean, the I think I basically understand why the changes are the way they are in terms of the first part of the episode before they left Sanctuary, because it seems like uh Roswaal was the one that was making a lot of the decisions for Garf. Like, Garf was just following orders and stuff. And since Subaru didn't have that partners in crime talk with Roswaal this time, I'm guessing Roswaal didn't change his mind thinking that maybe Subaru should do the trial, right? And that way, that means Garf didn't have the orders, you know, Garf was just still going off the orders that Amelia needs to do it, you know? So, yeah. That's why Garf was so stubborn about things. And then Amelia's... I think Amelia's reaction was appropriate, you know? Because he didn't give her... Like, he didn't even give her the second try, you know? And then have that good conversation with her. Because it wasn't, like... I don't think she realized how challenging the trial could be until the second time. Like, obviously she got messed up by it the first time, but then the second time she failed again. Maybe if he had the conversation then, it would have been a little different, but I don't know. Either way. Man, what a hell of an episode. There was so much to, like, discuss regarding it, too. Like, I guess we didn't even... Like, I had no idea that Frederica could go into even a partial beast transformation. I thought she was just, like... Because she's, like, a... Oh, I can't remember the exact word for it, but she's, like, half human, half, like, beast or whatever, right? And so... She had, like, the sharper teeth. I thought that was going to be the only thing. But no, she can... You know, partial with her claws, but then for some reason she's able to hold the stone and it glows, and then she was able to do like a full transformation. But I wonder what like that stone has a significance of. But and then I also wonder who Elsa was talking about, right? Shoot, Marcy or Marley or something. I kind of want to go back and look at that now. I'm almost there, guys. Sorry. Yeah, she said she doesn't speak of her clients, but then she mentions this other name, which is interesting. That means it's not her client. Then who is it? And also the whole play out to her directions, which means is there someone else that's able to kind of like predict the future, sort of? Okay, true. I don't want Meili, that's what it was, Meili taking any more credit from me. So, who's Meili? I guess we don't get any more info, except for the fact that she said that her client, she won't talk about her clients, which means that my guess is Meili is someone else that works for those clients, and she wants the credit instead. I don't know. I guess we'll find out later. But, and then also, I almost forgot to talk about that until I just went and rewatched that part. The whole fact that she knew exactly who was at the mansion, and then she also knew Subaru was returning, and knew, like, when he was supposed to be returning, which means last time that she cut him, she knew he was going to be there at that time, but this time he showed up earlier. So does that mean that there's someone on, like, the witch's cult side, or whoever she works for, whoever Elsa works for, that is able to kind of predict the future, but obviously isn't able to... That's like, oh, that hurts my head a little bit, right? Because if it were someone that could predict the future, they would have to know that Subaru was supposed to show up at a certain time, but he changed that time, but wouldn't, in this, like, new, essentially, like, you could consider it, like, in a way, world lines, right? In this new, like, world line that he had in the save, wouldn't the person who told the future's, like, vision update because of Subaru's change? Like, why were they able to predict it through Subaru's first save, but not through his second save of what he was going to do, right? That's an interesting thing to think about. But we also don't know if it's, like, telling the future. It could just be intel, right? It could just be... But how would anybody know that he was... Because he was supposed to show up later than he did, right? Which means Elsa was supposed to come here, and she already had the intel, which means someone had to know that Subaru was leaving Sanctuary at X time. Now, how would they know that? That's what I'm confused about. How would they know that Subaru was leaving Sanctuary at a specific time? Because they would have to know it before Subaru left Sanctuary, right? So unless someone is leaking information from Sanctuary somehow, and in the first save, someone, like, something somehow made Subaru, like, be delayed, but I can't think of anything specific. It seemed just like a bunch of things that happened. So how did they, like, predict that? Oh, that hurts my head. That's way too complicated for me. I'll wait for the writers to tell me. I don't know, man. But that's super interesting. Oh, man. There's so many interesting things about this episode, but really, like, what it comes down to is we have Petra, who is... I'm pretty sure she isn't going to live through that. Now, they have magic and they have magic healing, so is Beatrice somehow going to be able to pull Petra there and save her? We also don't know the state of Rem. We haven't seen Ram since she ran off with the monster, right? And well, no, because she ran off with the monster and then she came back to save Subaru, but we don't know what happened to her after that. Like, we saw the ribbon going down the drain or whatever, and some blood, but really the only one that we might have confirmed dead, I think, is the ground dragon and Petra, but I still think there might be room for Petra to be saved because of magic, you know? But I'm trying to think of, like, I feel like we have to reset, but I was trying to think of, like, is there anything that verifies that, right? Like, because if Rem was dead, I'd say we have to reset. I don't think the show's gonna leave Rem dead, right? Like, I know Amelia's, like, the main character, like, the main girl, but I feel like Subaru wouldn't let Rem stay dead, so he would kill himself to go back, you know? And then, same with Ram. I think even Petra, he would do it, but if Petra somehow lives through this, if everybody's alive somehow, then maybe we could continue on with the save point. But I do think that Subaru might go back, because there's a lot of things I feel like he could do differently this time. But yeah, super interesting. I cannot wait for the next episode. I'm really loving this season of ReZero, which is good. At least so far, I'm really loving it. They opened up a lot of mystery. It doesn't seem to focus too heavily on the return by death, which was something I was worried about. Like another season of Subaru just suiciding over and over and over to get things right. Even though we're starting to get into that loop a little bit, but I don't know where it's gonna go from here. And it seems like the way it feels like one more attempt and Subaru could get it right, you know? But I'm just really enjoying it this time. I was a little skeptical going into this one, because sometimes second seasons are a little rough, and then sometimes, you know, with the whole idea of return by death, you know, I thought it could get a little repetitive, but I'm in. I'm all in. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's it from me for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you did. Also, check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel further. I very much appreciate it. You can get early access for my other shows, not this one, since I watched this one as it airs. And then you can also get access to my Patreon exclusive shows, which I'm watching Soul Eater and Violet Evergarden on there. So check that out if you're interested. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.